Hi, I'm JP.
And I'm Adam.
I've never seen Lost.
I have.
I'm told that it's good.
I liked it.
I'm told that it made sense.
Sort of.
But we're watching it out of order.
So it definitely won't make sense.
But it might still be good. Since we won't expect it to make sense, we'll still be able to appreciate each episode on its own merits as a 1-hour story.
Sometimes 2 or 3.
As opposed to just a fraction of an ongoing, sprawling, and increasingly complex tangle of relationships, personal stories, mysteries, mythologies, experiments, social dynamics, unnatural disasters, unanswered questions, and hot tropical hookups.
Are you okay?
I'm not sure.
Because you lost me a little bit there at the end.
Well, good, because I've been lost since the beginning. We're lost on Lost.
Welcome, everybody, to Lost on Lost. I'm Adam Busher, and I'm joined, as always, by a man who knows the true perils of trying to spruce up a room with a new coat of paint, JP Russell.
Listen, home ownership sucks, man.
That's why most people don't do it. It's not the, dreadful unaffordability of it for the average American. It's the painting and the cleaning of the gutters and all
Listen,
that.
boomers are like, oh, these millennials don't know how to do anything. My brother in Christ, that's your fault. Y'all didn't teach us nothing.
Yeah, no, not one of my parents, not one of my uncles, somebody was like, don't spend $80,000 on avocado toast. Otherwise, you won't be able to afford a house. And I was like, well, shit, if I would have thought about that,
yeah,
I wouldn't have spent that $80K on avocado toast. Today, we're talking about Flashes Before Your Eyes, the 8th episode of season 3 and the 57th episode of Lost overall. Our centric character is everyone's favorite really tan guy who spent 9 years in an underground bunker, Desmond David Hume. Flashes Before Your Eyes takes place on the 75th day after the crash of Oceanic Flight 815. JP.
Yeah.
Got a recap?
I do.
Please share with the class.
I feel like we've been here before. I know this. Yeah, I know this. I remember this. No, this happened already. Now, this is a statement that both Desmond and I can say about getting blackout drunk on a beach with near strangers. On the island, Claire is drowning, but who cares? We have more important shit to talk about in the before times. We see Desmond's tragic future past. Time is a flat circle. We've always been in this moment. That means the universe has always had you listen to our podcast. Hey, Adam, I think our analytics just doubled or halved. I don't know. Let's get into Flashes Before Your Eyes. Adam, we have a guest.
Excellent. I was just thinking what could, bring a little sort of je ne sais quoi to, and then I was like, a guest.
Yeah. Fans of Lost on Lost, please welcome back to the show from episode 3, fan of pre-made linear actuators, Adam Haas.
Hey, thanks for having me, everybody. You're this level of storyline that you guys are creating. I feel like it's taken another level since I was last here. From the introduction to your recap, it's really top-notch stuff you guys got put together here. 50 episodes in, you guys are doing great.
The conversation won't be any better.
The actual content of the show will be tragically similar.
Oh shit! Did we already peak? Did we peak?
Haas, you were with us for Man Behind the Curtain back in the very early days of Lost on Lost. I think literally 2 years ago.
What did you say? 25 months? Almost.
Yeah, I think 25 months in between this episode and your previous episode appearance. So
yeah, now I'm lost about where are we?
Refresh us on your breadth / depth of knowledge of the show. You've seen it, correct?
Yes. So I watched it starting, I don't know, somewhere when it was airing around season 2. Went back, watched the whole thing for the live. And then about 2 years ago when you were creating this podcast, I was like, I like that show. I'm going to go back. I got some time. I'm going to watch it. So now it's been over 2 years since I last watched the whole series. So going back for this episode, I was like, I've forgotten everything.
Excellent.
I feel lost again. I'm back to the square one.
Haas, how did you feel on your rewatch 2 years ago? By the time you got to the end of season 6, were you still enjoying it? Did it feel like a chore? What was your sort of mindset?
I definitely still enjoyed it. It was enjoyable to go back and get reminded how all these characters came about to the stories that they had.
Sure.
I enjoyed it greatly. Being able to see everything brought back, everything that I had forgotten. I was like, yes. From the highs and the lows and, good story points to bad story points. I enjoyed it greatly.
Nice.
Yeah. Awesome.
What have you been watching otherwise in the meantime? I think I didn't go back and re-listen, but I think we talked about For All Mankind.
Still watching that.
Nice.
With Penelope.
Yeah. Sonya
from
Walker.
That, yeah. She's great still. Currently watching The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Enjoying that.
You can watch Super Bowl? That's tomorrow, right?
Yes, it is tomorrow.
Oh, don't guys say the big game
Why?
because you'll
Trademark.
get sued.
Oh. What? Really?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like if you watch all commercials, they don't say Super
the
Bowl.
big
Say like
game.
the big game's tomorrow.
Man, Roger Goodell, you can suck my fucking balls. The big
Let's say
game.
Super Bowl a whole bunch. Maybe that'll get us some.
We're going to get demonetized for the second episode in a row.
Yeah, if we get sued by the NFL, maybe we'll get more listeners.
I'd be like, I've never heard of this. Why is the NFL going after them? They must be big
I
time.
never noticed that the
No,
commercials
yeah.
don't say the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Unless they're an official sponsor of, and then you have
Right.
access to. If you're paying
Right.
$7 million for a 30-second commercial, you're allowed.
Hey Adam, what's the budget situation? I know we just got another coffee.
we did get another coffee just recently, so thank you again to Jimmy V. Appreciate that. Yeah, we're gonna take that coffee and put it toward becoming the official TV rewatch podcast of Super Bowl 57. Nailed it. That just makes that joke in the what they do in the shadows. I don't know if you rewatch that, but the vampires get invited to their neighbors for a Super Bowl party, but the vampires think it's about the superb owl.
Yes.
So that just makes that joke that much funnier because they were sitting there talking about an episode about the Super Bowl. And they didn't say the Super Bowl in it. They just kept saying superb owl.
That's perfect.
I love that.
This show's so good.
All right, so are you watching the big game tomorrow then?
Probably will. I'll tune to see a couple things here and there. Do some other stuff in and out of the house. I'm not invested in it, but let's do it.
I got big money running on the game.
On the big game?
We have bets going at work, but they have to be non-related bets. So I've got $7 that Henry Kissinger dies before the Super Bowl. So it might be wishful thinking, but
It's like, what are the odds on that actually? Because that actually, that's a long shot, but
You've got like 28 hours to go.
Kissinger's fucking immortal, so that's $7.
let's go. Let's go, universe. Come on.
You guys want to talk about Lost?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Flash Before Your Eyes originally aired on February 14th, 2007. We are recording it almost 15 years to the, very close, about a week from its original air date.
And much like a lot of things on this podcast, close enough is good enough.
There we go. That's a joke on multiple levels. It was written by Damon Lindelof and Drew Goddard and directed by Jack Bender. Nash Bridges joke, a Martian joke, a Game of Thrones joke. Done.
Perfect.
For those of you playing bingo, check those 3 squares off.
Yes, thank you. We're starting on the beach, and we see Desmond, and I typed the words, "What a breath of fresh air." And before I could even finish typing that sentence, we already cut away to Charlie and Hurley and Sawyer's stash.
These are my favorite types of opening shots where it's like seconds of just something and then elsewhere.
Like we have to start on something pretty, so we got the beach, we got like sunset or whatever it was, maybe sunrise, I don't know. But immediately cut away, and Charlie and Hurley are just rat fucking Sawyer's stash, just going through everything.
I had to rewind it a couple times because I was doing the same thing. I went to go write something, and then I looked up, and the shot was over. I was like, oh shit! So I think Desmond's head turns, and he must see Hurley and Charlie.
How uninteresting.
Right? But yeah, Sawyer's tent.
Stealing all of his food and all of his playpen magazines.
They have the conversation that we've had on the show here a lot. People need food. People need medicine. We should be reappropriating Sawyer's stash for the common good, especially since he's been missing for 15 minutes. It's been a while for them. I don't remember how long, but it's been days, weeks.
Hey, comrade, this is our copy of Jugs.
That was one of the funniest phrases I've heard in an episode of Lost. Shocking amounts of pornography.
And Charlie's like so into it. And like, okay.
Yeah. Considering the fact that they're on a deserted island, the fact that they have any pornography is already a blessing.
It's like, I buy one, having been in Sawyer's carry-on. There were so many magazines there.
They're not necessarily Sawyer's.
No.
They were definitely somebody from that plane.
But then,
who from that plane had a suitcase full of magazines?
Say 50% of the plane were men, and each one of them brought one skin mag.
I could see Mars having pornography.
Mhm.
Mars definitely had a copy.
Yeah.
Arts probably has some weird foot magazines.
Ana Lucia probably had a couple just because
Yeah.
in my head she's bisexual. Ana Lucia is bisexual, so
It works for me.
Desmond is like, hey, stop messing with that. Come with me.
Yes.
So they're like, all right, we weren't doing anything else today. They come with him.
So Sawyer's not going to be back for a minute, so we can table this conversation. So they go out into the desert where
The jungle.
sweet baby boy Johnny Locke and Saeed are kind of just hanging out.
Just big chilling nearby. They must have been, Saeed and Locke must have been gone for a little bit too, because Charlie and Hurley are like, oh, hey, good to see you guys again. What's up? Did you find Echo? So Echo's missing.
He's more than missing.
The thing I was a little confused about, and this does not matter, and I understand we need, for the plot of this episode, we need all those guys to be having this conversation in the jungle away from the beach, right? Because how did Desmond hear? But did Desmond run across Locke and Saeed and they're like, hey, we need to talk to Hurley and Charlie about this, but we need to do it in the jungle, so you go get them and then bring them back here rather than us just go to the beach, which is where we're going anyways? Like, it was very strange. I know they're like, people are gonna see how you react, you two chuckle fucks. So like, I just don't understand why this conversation is happening in the jungle. It doesn't really matter, but it just felt strange.
It's a good point. It did not need to be.
Yeah. The interesting thing about this is here on Lost Unlost, I don't know if interesting. I always say that to sort of juice up what I'm about to say. We saw Echo die fucking episode like a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time
Here on
ago.
Lost Unlost. But the more interesting part about that is we've seen most of seasons 1 through 3 at this point. However, Flashes Before Your Eyes, the episode we're talking about right now, is a hammock in between two episodes we have not seen. We have not yet watched Not in Portland, and we have not yet watched Stranger Strangeland. So this is one episode where we do not have the context of before and after, like immediately before and immediately after.
Right.
But we can talk a little bit about why that is uninteresting at the end of the show.
This episode's got its own stuff going on, and it really doesn't matter.
But yeah, Charlie and Hurley are, in lieu of Jack and Sawyer and Kate being missing, Locke and Sawyer are like, hey, you guys are sort of like, you're our everyman or every person, whatever. People are going to look to how you react to us spilling the beans about Echo being dead. They're going to take their cues from you. If you all freak out, they're going to freak out. Everybody's going to freak out. It'll be a freak out. So don't freak out.
Be cool.
Echo died.
Everybody be cool.
The island killed him. No big deal. Wait, what'd you say? The island killed him? Yeah, I said the island killed him. I said no big deal.
We've seen that
Right,
before,
yeah.
everybody. Don't be freaked out anymore. The island kills
This
people all
is
the time.
season 3.
Yeah, come on. Island kills people. This is island that kills people. Count your blessings, you're still alive.
Yeah. We just call that like a number 3 on the island, like a code 3.
Yeah,
It happens
code
so
3.
fucking often.
Speaking of not freaking out, Desmond's freaking out a little bit. But it's sort of an
Told you not to freak out.
it's sort of an unrelated freak out because like he's clearly not listening to Saeed or John.
This is a joke only for Adam Haas. He has the look of "Where's my rifle?"
Yeah. Yes. Oh,
Shit.
oh, I am so fucked right now.
I am. Oh no, something. I need to just run into the woods.
Gotta go.
And which he does. He goes, he just bolts. Hurley's like, hey, you all right? And out. He's out, just sprinting.
Yeah.
And so Locke and Saeed's plan to have everybody not freak out is foiled by them chasing Desmond onto the beach.
But that doesn't matter because we don't see Locke and Saeed again for the rest of the episode. Well, okay, they're on the beach,
Fine.
but then like
Doesn't
we
matter.
don't see them again ever.
But yeah, like they just, so it's like, okay, everything's nice and calm. Okay, Echo's dead. Let's not freak out. Desmond freaks out, then we all freak out, and everybody freaks out. The two guys we asked not to freak out, they freak out. Then we freak out. Again, if Locke and Saeed would have just come to the beach, went to the kitchen, like started filling up their water bottles, just been like, oh yeah, we're back. And then they go to Charlie and
Yeah, let's just have a conversation.
Desmond would have not been involved. And so then when he freaked out and headed off to go save Claire, all the freaking out could have been avoided.
Oh, which leads us into our next scene. Claire's drowning.
Yes, Claire is drowning.
And then everybody should legit freak out.
Yeah, because that's spooky.
Poor Claire.
Man, I'm really glad that Boone wasn't here to be involved in Claire drowning. This would have been the third time that Boone would have almost drowned himself trying to rescue somebody who's drowning.
It was the second time.
It was there was Joanna.
Yeah, I remember Joanna.
Maybe was that the only time? I don't know. He wasn't around that.
one time.
He's a certified
Yeah.
lifeguard. Anyway, he's not here, which is good. Desmond can very easily rescue somebody from drowning for a very, very good reason, which I don't know if we've covered yet on the show.
No, not that I know. We know very little about Desmond.
Yeah, it's true.
But the way it's shot, there's a shot from like behind him, or maybe it was POV of just like you see Claire and like the waves are massive.
Yeah.
It feels like
Yeah.
I was like,
They
holy
are
fuck!
moving.
Like it's gonna be a struggle to get out to this person
Yeah.
against the tide
Yeah.
and then or against the waves and then bring them back.
But he does it, no problem. Well,
Yeah,
I wouldn't say easily, but like he does it. He gets to her. He flips her over, makes sure she's not sucking in more water, drags her back. Charlie does a smart thing here, knowing he's just going to get in the way if he also swims out. So he only just like wades out and helps the two of them get out of the water once Desmond returns her to the beach. Starts administering CPR, blowing her mouth, trying to get her to spit out the water. And it works. She's fine. Yay.
Yeah.
Now we don't have to see Claire again for the rest of the episode.
good.
This is just like, let's make some appearances, check them off, and then send them home back to the hotel.
This is all about Desmond.
take the
You
next
don't care
6
about
days
anybody
off.
else. Well, she comes by to say thanks.
Yeah, she does.
In a second here.
But so like Desmond just like carries her back to her tent. Charlie's like, how did he know? And Hurley, some good Hurley shit here. I know how. He can see the future.
Guy sees the future, dude.
Yeah, and
Total
then
Hurley.
Kai sitting next to me just goes, oh, he's a future dude. And now
Future man?
Desmond, to me, will only be known as known future dude.
Known future dude, Desmond Hume.
I mean, that works for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the smartest people.
Oh, he's so good.
I love him.
And that's the end of the cold open. We cut back. It's continuous. Des is at his tent or just on the
looking
beach.
at-
He's looking at this picture. We've seen this picture a couple times before. It's
Yeah.
Penelope, Penny.
Mhm.
His I was about to say armoire. That's not it. Amour.
Nope. Boudoir.
Amore. Whatever.
Armor.
That's
Amore
amore.
eel. She's Amore eel.
Tiger tank sloped armor.
His girlfriend, ex-girlfriend,
Oh.
whatever. And Claire comes up. She's like, hey, thank you for helping me not drown. It wasn't on my list of things to do today, was drown. She said she goes swimming every day. Like, okay, we just talked about this. I'm personally afraid of the ocean. That's not something I would do, especially since somewhere nearby there's a waterfall and a pond. Like, there's a swimming hole.
Right.
Go swim in the swimming hole.
Infinitely safer.
It's so much safer, so much calmer. There's there's like maybe a couple dead bodies in it, but like
Maybe a polar bear running around too somewhere.
I don't think anybody knows about the dead bodies, and
I mean, this is season 3. They know about the dead
yeah, they
bodies.
probably know about the dead bodies.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a good chance that Sawyer killed the one polar bear.
Oh, that's true.
So, but
Well,
yeah,
but
just-
there's that thought experiment about like, would you go in a hot tub with a dead body? Like, no. Would you go into an Olympic-sized swimming pool with a dead body? Probably not. Would you go into something the size of 100 Olympic-sized swimming pools with a dead body? Sure. So there's a threshold of how much water to dead body ratio
Right.
a person can
because like
stand.
the ocean definitely has dead bodies in it.
A lot. Well, yeah.
Especially
even
that
canonically
beach.
in the show.
Right there, yeah. There's a bunch of dead people from their plane in that water. Yeah.
They washed away by now. The eels and the
Yeah, the moray
Whales
eels
got
and Shark.
Yeah, that's Amari. That's what we're talking about.
full circle, flat circle, flat full
circle.
circle.
There we go. Flat circle.
Full flat circle. She eventually meanders her way conversationally to the thank you. And I was, as they were talking, I was like, how long is it going to take for her to just thank him and fuck off? Because they talked for a while.
Yeah. Charlie comes up is like, hey, Aaron's hungry. So that gives her a reason to leave.
Yep. Thanks for stopping by, Claire.
Starting to make Charlie a little jealous, though.
Yeah.
What doesn't
Charlie's
make
getting a little
Charlie
hot.
jealous? Fuck, he cannot take another man talking to Claire. Desmond, Locke, anybody. Aaron. I'm sure he's jealous of the baby.
Oh, he absolutely is. Baby gets more attention. He wishes he was the baby.
He gets to suck on them titties. Anyways, Charlie and Hurley are talking, and they're like, I forget who says it. I think Charlie says, I don't buy this see the future stuff. And
which again is bonkers.
Right. If he could see the future, like how the fuck did he end up on this island? Like which good question. I mean,
and we talked about this and when it comes to like Jack and his fucking skepticism. So much insane shit has happened on here. Why would a guy being able to see the future? Why would that be out of like the more extraordinary idea, which Hurley often has because he is a believer at heart, is oftentimes what is ordinary on the island.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Fucking Charlie, whatever.
So Charlie's 4D chess plan is let's get him drunk.
That'll let him put his guard down.
It's sometimes the best plan is just the most simple.
Yeah, just keep it simple, stupid.
He's a Scot. He likes drinking. He likes a good cocktail. Let's get some liquor, get him liquored up, and ask him personal questions.
Yeah, surely fine. Hurley's like, yeah, this is as good a plan as any. Because Hurley is always down.
Hurley's down to party.
Yeah.
Always.
So they grab this bottle of scotch out of Sawyer's stash, and they head over to Desmond, who's sort of off down the beach, build himself a little fire. Charlie wants to, he comes armed with an apology. Hey, I'm sorry I was acting like a big jealous turd earlier.
Yeah. Sound, even though we know it's got, some reasoning behind it, it sounds very earnest. I'm like, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. I believe that he who is like, I actually should say something about how I behaved this morning. Then get to the plan.
Yeah.
So, so they're like, hey, let's get hammered, right? Desmond's like, I can't. What do you say? I've spent too much time drunk as of late.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean as of late? Like, you've been, well, again, we don't know anything about fucking Desmond.
Drinking in the hatch? I don't know.
Partying. And then Charlie's like, oh, yeah, all right, you're too good for us. We'll fuck off then. But then Desmond notices the bottle. He's like, wait, what is that? Hold
on there.
What do you got there? He's like, and Charlie's like, I don't know. It's called McClutchin.
McClutchin.
You can see the huge 60 on the label. Like,
yeah.
When it's scotch, the only time there's a number on the scotch is when it tells you how old it is. It never is like another number. It's never part of the brand.
Right.
60. That's probably old scotch.
Like, is there actually a 60? Like, that seems too high. Is there actually a 60-year-old scotch or whiskey or whatever out there somewhere? Like, I've heard of like 12 or 25 or something, but 60, that's too low.
That would be a long.
I think that's just what the proletariats can buy at Pick and Save.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get a 60-year-old scotch at a place that the three of us would not be allowed into because of our jobs and facial hair.
Yeah. I mean, rightfully so. We shouldn't be allowed in fancy places. But Charlie, kind of is like packing up his stuff. Desmond sees it, is like, wait, whoa, hold the phone. Whoa. You said drinks. You didn't say McClutchin.
McClutchin?
Whatever it is.
No L. Just old McClutchin.
McClutchin. I'm going to be McClutchin that bottle all night.
So they start getting hammered.
Yeah. Fucking Desmond's like, he does the drunk thing, the alcoholic thing. It's like, whenever you see somebody take the bottle and throw away the cap, you're in trouble.
Yeah, we're not putting this.
We ain't gonna need this anymore.
Yeah. He's like, we don't need the cups. We don't need the cap. Let's fucking rock. And he drinks probably like 4 shots. He just like,
gotta hydrate, baby.
Yeah, if they wanted to get him drunk, well, they're off to a good start.
Yeah.
So they cut to later that night, just drinking, singing some songs. Man, Americans, we don't have any good drinking songs. All of our drinking songs are just like idiotic pop songs, like
right. Turn down for what?
We used to do Saturday Night by the Bay City Rollers all the time in college. You remember that?
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's been a minute.
Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne. Oh my god. Lose Control by Missy Elliott.
Shipping up to Boston.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hurley has this great line.
Hey, the only songs about drinking and fighting and girls with one leg.
Wow, girls with one leg and a heart of gold.
I enjoyed the hell out of that.
Yeah, I started laughing so hard.
It's such a good, like, that line right there just legitimized, like, they've been drinking for at least an hour and they are having a fantastic time. Like
multiple
Yeah.
hours. It started at daylight, and it was well dark by the time we come back.
yeah, but at the rate that Desmond's
Oh,
drinking,
yeah.
man.
No, they should have been on their 5th bottle by then.
Yeah. Well, and that brings me to my next point in the scene is how are the 3 of them not blacked out? Like, that bottle was basically full when they started drinking, and
Well,
it is almost empty. It's got like a cup, like maybe a shot or 2 left at this point.
I don't know if Hurley's drinking, so like
I think he is, because of the 3 of
Oh,
them,
is
he
he?
acts the drunkest.
I
He's
suppose,
laying
yeah.
there, and he's just like kind of acting goofy, like.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But I don't know. Hurley's a bigger dude too. Maybe he's
maybe.
drinking his share to get, and so I don't know.
Desmond's definitely got a higher tolerance, I think. Even though he's
Oh
been
my
in like
God.
the
Yeah.
bunker,
Yeah,
I think
that's
he's been
true,
hitting
too.
it.
Yeah. So.
And he's a Scot. So
Yeah,
like,
that too.
Yeah. So.
But then Charlie sees this as the moment.
How did you know? How did you know that Claire was drowning? I just heard her, man. Like, she was screaming. She was making all these drowning noises. You were a mile away, man. I didn't hear. I have better ears than you. You're a bassist from a shitty band. You have tinnitus. I can hear like a motherfucker. I'm leaving. You're being weird. Way to ruin the vibe. Bye.
Yeah. And then he's like, "Oh, okay. So let's suppose for a moment that you did hear a woman drowning, which whatever, and the people on the beach couldn't hear her. How did you know about the lightning? Remember that little show that you put on for all of us?
Can you hear
explain that?
lightning?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes this weird crackly sound. You can't hear lightning. You hear thunder. Caught you in a lie. Again, bam.
Yeah.
That was Charlie.
So yeah. And then there's a really weird, like, Desmond's like, you gotta get out of here. Like, I forget exactly what he says, but then Charlie calls him a coward. Like, I know a coward when I see one.
Yeah, that's a bold accusation to make for somebody just not answering a couple of like really weird questions, honestly. Like,
Also, the guy who just saved your girlfriend. Like,
you fucking coward.
Both from lightning and drowning.
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So then Desmond tackles him and they start wrestling.
Yeah.
You don't know what happened to me.
And this is the part where I was like, Hurley seems, because he kind of is like, knock it off, don't do anything.
Yeah.
But he just kind of
Alright.
lays there. He's like, quit fighting. Stop.
Yeah.
But Desmond says, you don't want to know what happened to me when I turned the key.
Yeah.
Did Charlie prompt him to say, like, oh, because, Charlie was like,
Yeah.
he says
You
something
think
about,
you're a hero.
yeah, do you think turning the key makes you a hero or whatever? Don't necessarily know the details about that, but we will sometime in the future.
Or the past.
Or the past. But yeah, Desmond's like, you don't want to know what happened when I turned the key. And he starts choking him.
Well, and then we get a flash of insane shit that I was very confused by. I just wrote down hatch, countdown, lock, magnets,
Yep.
question mark.
How do they work?
Hole, love you, Penny, turn key, flash.
Yeah. Most of that stuff will probably be covered in the episode where we talk about the season 2 finale.
Another 25 months from now.
Yep.
um,
It'll answer your questions and give you a ton more.
yep.
Nice.
But then all the flashing and the clips stop, and Desmond is laying flat on his back, covered in blood. I mean, paint.
You've got red on you.
And he doesn't have his beard.
Yeah.
It's all different-y.
Yeah.
And he's looking around. He hears off from the other room, "Are you okay? How drunk are you? I can't believe you're falling off of a ladder and stuff." He's in his apartment, and Penny's there, and he was painting a room a pretty offensive shade of red.
It's gross.
Like,
And did you see the label on the gallon of paint?
No.
It said future.
Oh.
thought you were about to do our Sherman Williams ad copy, but I forgot that they never emailed me back.
Sherwin Williams hasn't bought you any cups of coffee yet.
Sherman Williams, the official sponsor of the Super Bowl. Eat me, Roger Goodell.
Sherman Williams paint is all made from ground up babies. If they want to refute that, they can check their fucking email.
She gives him some like ice. She's like, "You have a concussion. Everything's gonna be fine now."
He's in this weird space where he's like, I know this flat, I know this person. I don't really remember how I ended up here though. Like he knows where he is, but you can definitely tell that there's like missing reel someplace. He's like,
exactly.
I did just hit my head and I was drinking, but oh yeah, okay, I'm just hanging out with Penny now. I love Penny. She's my girlfriend or whatever. She's moving in. We're painting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Penny says he's been drinking.
Yeah. She does say this is what happens when you mix alcohol, ladders, painting.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's drunk or drinking. Just a little while before he's got this interview, because I think this is the same day where she like cleans him up and she's still got paint on him. She starts helping him prepare for a job interview.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. He's drinking before his job interview.
That is a good point. And it's like we look later at the clock, it's 1:08.
Yeah, it's 1:08.
And it's not in the morning.
No.
So he was definitely drinking in the morning.
Yeah.
And painting.
He goes to the interview and gives him the whiskey. He's like, "Hey, can I pour you a belt?" "No, man, I'm actually trying to chill out a little bit."
I'm a little hungover still.
Yeah.
I
Or
only
it's a
had 2
concussion.
fingers. This way? No, this way.
Yeah, the alarm clock says 1:08.
Ah.
She comes over. She helps him tie his tie, helps him get ready. Yeah, she's like, "You don't have to do this." Like,
Yeah.
she's doing that very earnest sort of like, anybody else's approval of what we're doing is not important to me. The thing is, I approve of you, and that's the only thing that should matter.
Right.
But whatever. There's that old-fashioned thing of wanting to impress the dad. So
Sure.
he starts hearing the beeping from the hatch.
Oh, shit.
Ah.
That weirded me out. I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh God! Turns out it's the microwave.
I love that little
That's very
sound
good.
effect was great.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yep.
Cut to the office.
Yeah, then he
Yeah.
goes to the office. Yeah.
But how many times do we have to see this scene where the guy can't tie the tie? Like, how many times have you seen this in
Right.
TV
This-
or movies? Like,
yeah.
God, come on.
It's only in TV and movies. They only make movies and TV shows about men who don't know how to tie ties. The funny thing about that tie thing is that also she tries to tie it from behind him, and she's shorter than
She's
he is.
way shorter.
So she's like, "Oh, I can't do this. This is cute, but like, I'm not gonna." Yeah. So he's at the office. He's like, I'm Desmond Hume, here to see Mr. Widmore. I have an appointment. A delivery guy's up, and he's like, I have 815 cases of fucking paper towels or whatever. And he's like, what did you say? I said 815. Oh my God.
Because it was 4, 8:15. He said it was 4. Like, so all 4 numbers there. Yeah.
Why would you say that number?
And before that, Penny to Desmond was like, hey, if this doesn't go well, this isn't going to be the end of the world. It might be. Desmond was pushing the button to prevent the end of the world.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. I gotta admit, if I were Desmond, I would be weirded out.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
these things keep popping up. I mean, like, but then you're going back to things you've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the signs were there. There's a whole life.
Yeah. Cut to Penny's dad's office.
Yeah, Alan Dale.
Got some postmodern art on the wall that's got a polar bear on it.
Jack Bender.
Namaste.
It's a Jack Bender classic right there.
Yeah.
I don't know what this guy does for a living, but like I was sitting there, I was thinking that it was like kind of reminiscent of Jin and Mr. Peg. Like that's what I was thinking.
Absolutely.
Because Jin did the same thing. Mr. Peg, he went to try to interview with him to, get the approval from whatever.
Slightly different outcome.
Yeah. Because like he goes through his resume, his resume is kind of like whatever. He's like, oh, you didn't go to university, you don't have any military experience.
He's a theater nerd.
Yeah, set decoration.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
He says something about he didn't finish school because he had to watch after his brothers after his dad
Father,
passed away? Or
something, yeah.
Mom? Yeah, again, we have another orphan on the show, and we have another jackass dad. Nobody has parents of intact family group in this show.
Yeah, and Widmore kind of cuts him off before he can like really get too deep into that story. He's just like, I don't want to. We don't have to talk about that.
Yeah.
You are not worthy.
Yeah. He's like, I'll give you a job in the administrative department. You can be a fucking secretary. I don't give a shit. Whatever, it's fine.
Sure.
But then Desmond's like, actually, I'm not here for a job.
Psych.
I just would like to get your approval to marry your daughter. And then, this is where we get into the whole lack of worthiness for Desmond. Widmore goes over to his liquor cabinet, pulls out this bottle of 60-year-old McClutchin scotch, a couple of glasses.
That was the most like dickish part to me. Like, man, you pulled out 2 glasses.
Yeah,
and
right.
you're already into the story.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
But it was it because I've watched enough TV. I'm like, well, this isn't going to go the way we want to. But like, they do a good job of making you feel like, oh man, they're going to be best buds.
Yeah.
They want you to think you're going to be best buds so bad. And he pulls up the second glass and he just pours the one and he drinks it himself. And he's like, get out of my face, you poor broke ass joker.
I give you no job. I give you no daughter for marriage.
No daughter?
No scotch.
No scotch.
No daughter. No job.
get the fuck out of my office. So he bails. Desmond heads out. He's out on the street now, pissed off. Nobody wants to hear that. You're not worthy. You're not worthy of my daughter. You're not worthy of my time. You're not worthy of my... That's disheartening.
Speaking of things no one wants to hear.
Anyways, here's Wonderwall.
Here's Wonderwall.
Yeah, he hears the dulcet tones of Charlie Hieronymus Pace. Just head down the block, singing along to some old Wonderball. This must be before he's famous, because, like, why would he be busking?
Right, and I could imagine that when he was like doink down on smack and needing the money, but when he's like, "Oh, I know you from somewhere," he would have, if it were post famous, he'd have been like, "Oh,
yeah, I used to be a drive shaft." Yeah. So he's just out there busking. He's wrapping it up. People are paying him out, whatever.
And Charlie, then Desmond goes like crazy.
Yeah.
Because he's like, "Whoa, I know you from somewhere."
Right, because he starts he flashes again to the hatch.
And then Charlie has this line is like, "This is what happens when people do drugs."
Yeah, this is why we don't.
Charlie's the heroin addict. Eventually, not yet.
Name's Charlie. Yeah, he's like, "No, your name's Charlie." He's like, "Yeah, my name's on the fucking sign, dude."
Yeah. This is why we don't do drugs. Yeah, fucking pot, kettle. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
The irony or foreshadowing or whatever literary device. This is where we, the audience, if we weren't already aware, he's conscious. This isn't just a flashback. His actual consciousness is in what is, they never established in the episode, but it's 1996. So this is where, it becomes acutely aware. It's like this isn't your standard Lost flashback. Desmond is gone back, literally gone back in time.
Right.
So we cut to commercial, and then when we come back, Desmond is heading to like a university, some sort of place, to meet his. He wants to talk to his best mate, Donovan. Donovan's a physicist.
Everybody's got a best mate who's also a physicist.
Right. A best mate who we only see once ever in the show,
and knows exactly where to find him.
Yeah. But yeah, he's like, "Hey man, some weird shit's happening to me. I need to ask you just some like standard, is time travel possible questions. Let's go have a beer and talk about it."
Yeah. I might be unstuck from time. Like, you know how I get sometimes.
Like, I literally may have gone back in time, 8 years. Is that possible? Because I feel like it is, but this is just based on my lived experience. I know it's anecdotal, but is time travel possible?
You owe me money in the future. Do you want to settle the bill now?
Don was like, "Nah, bro, that's not
no,
it's not possible. Trust me, I'm a physicist."
And Desmond's like, wait, no, hold on. He hears a song playing on the jukebox. He's like, I know this. I know this night. This song comes on. Our football team comes back from a big loss and they win, and then fucking some guy's gonna come into the bar and hit a guy with a cricket bat, which is the wildest shit.
Yeah, Jimmy Lennon. He's
Jimmy Lennon.
He's gonna assault the bartender because our bartender owes him money, and he's just gonna straight up hit that fool in the head with a cricket bat.
Yeah,
totally makes sense why Donovan doesn't believe him, because this sounds absurd.
Yeah.
Did you see some of the ads around the football game?
I saw one for the Hansel Foundation.
Yeah, there was one for Oceanic. I saw it too.
No, I missed all that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was gonna say there were a bunch of them, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So Desmond, the guy on the football game, he misses the goal. Then Jimmy Lennon doesn't come in. A couple of girls come in, and so he's like, "Okay, the details of this aren't right. I must be misremembering this wrong." Or whatever.
Maybe I'm not from the future.
Maybe I'm not from the future. Maybe
I'm
just a regular
just fucking
dude.
crazy.
Maybe I just I hit my head. I got a concussion while drunk, and my whole equilibrium's off. It's fine.
Acid flashbacks. Yeah. Maybe I just don't know how much a microdose is.
So he's like, "All right, well, forget it. I'm just gonna go home." He comes home, and she's like, "You smell like the bar. You must not have gotten the job." And he's like, "Nah, me and your dad don't see eye to eye." He plays it all cool, whatever, like that.
Right.
She's like, "It doesn't matter." He's because I love you. And he's like, "Well, why do you love me?" And she goes on this thing about he's a good man, all the stuff. They're kind of the stuff you'd expect to hear. It's a very lovely and completely immemorable scene.
Yeah, so she says something about, well, let's celebrate. Well, let's not celebrate. Why would we celebrate me not getting a job? She says, something to the effect of let's celebrate because I love you. Why should we celebrate? Because you're a good man, and that's for me. That's that's enough. That's all I need.
Right.
Which is reinforced by the fact that like he could absolutely toss her dad under the bus right now and say what a colossal piece of shit he was, and he still chose not to.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think, well, maybe not. Never mind.
Hmm.
We don't know enough about Penny's relationship with Charles at this point to assume.
Right.
Because again, I was thinking of the parallel between Son and her father. Like Son isn't. She knows that her dad's kind of a dickhead.
Right.
How much does Penny know about Charles being a dickhead? Like how
Sure.
aware of it? I don't think we know. I don't think we really start to touch on the Penny Charles relationship until later.
But this does start to touch on or it shows both of them in when Desmond's at least not concussed, their relationship together, and then sets up for the future how much Penny sticks around for him.
Yeah.
Wants him, to come back to her in whatever year that might be.
Despite what happens a little bit later in the episode. Yeah.
And now we get into the wildest shit.
Desmond's like, I'm going to take Donovan's advice. Donovan said, if you love her, put a ring on it. Going ring shopping.
This episode was already good. We just skipped from first gear to like sixth gear.
Because it starts innocently enough.
Yeah.
Just let me show you some rings.
Hey, I'm a little, these are all pretty. Oh, you've never done this before, have you? No.
Good old Fiona Flanagan of Tears of the Sun and Four Brothers and a bunch of other shit. The Others. And correct me if I'm wrong, Adam. There was a picture of her on the desk of the monk that was Desmond's boss.
Yes, I do believe you are correct. It's not the first time we've seen. I don't think they say what her name is in the episode. Do they say?
No,
her name in the
I don't
episode?
think so.
Okay.
Who is the monk, though? I don't remember who this
Brother
was.
Martin or Brother Charles. And we watched.
The one where Desmond and Penny meet.
Yeah.
It's
Slayton was the guest. Catch 22.
There we go.
Yeah, in an earlier Desmond episode, we watched Catch 22 when that's when we see him. The flashback to his time at the monastery, and then getting thrown out of the monastery, and that's where he first meets Penny. So that prior to that,
how many jobs Desmond has had. Like that resume that he shows Widmore, it's got to be that maybe that happened after. Well, whatever. But
because this is after the monk thing,
right? Yeah,
they're together. But yeah, so it's like, can you explain this gap in your resume? I have too much shit to write on there, dude. They wanted me to make it one page, so I just put the highlights, I didn't feel like the 3 months.
Set dresser at the Royal Shakespeare Theater made the cut. Monk didn't.
Yeah. Me getting thrown out of the monastery for stealing wine. I think
he might have gotten the job or a higher, better job because Widmore had the Namaste with the painting. Showed Monk on there. Yeah. He might have had a better job. Could have got the yes.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of
the wrong thing on the resume.
Yes. Hey, also, if anybody ever asks you to explain a gap in your resume, tell them to fuck off. You signed an NDA. You can't talk about it. Kiss my ass.
That's right.
It's a gig economy, baby.
And I want that gig to be as a monk.
Yeah.
So but you're right. We have seen her before in a still in Catch 22. So this is not the first time that she's appeared in Desmond's history. I'm sure it'll be the last time though.
Yeah, totally. They're not both unstuck from time together.
I don't have the money for a nice ring. Can you show me a cheap ring? Here's a cheap ring. Awesome, I'll take it. No. Sorry.
Wrong answer.
You don't buy this ring, or you don't take it.
What are you talking about?
You don't buy this ring. You break her heart. That's why you enter the sailing race years later, and that's how you end up on the island, and that's how you end up in a hatch for 3 years. And if you don't do these things, everyone will die.
We're all gonna die.
Desmond's still standing up at the end of this conversation. It's pretty good because I might have fainted if someone said that shit to me.
Like, lady, you crazy. Yeah, what are you talking about?
You are unhinged.
But like, wait a minute, that sounds kind of familiar, maybe?
Yeah. But also not the weirdest thing that anybody's ever said to me, I guess. So
I mean, I just think I was time traveling a minute ago, so I guess this is rational.
Yeah, take a grain of salt, whatever.
Should have gone to Jared's.
The jeweler obviously seems to know something about the future/past.
Yeah. We don't fucking know how, but she knows all about Desmond.
Yeah, and she's very adamant that he fulfill his role in the timeline. Can't be out here making changes. He's got to do it. So we cut to commercial. And we're continuous with them. She's like, "Do you like chestnuts or something?"
Yeah. Do you like chestnuts?
And so they're out getting some chestnuts.
These nuts.
I got him. Look at those red shoes. Why is that
Yeah.
dude dressed like that? Is there something about the future? No, I just thought it was an interesting fashion choice.
Just totally not mentioning that for any reason at all. Unrelated to the
No.
story. It's fine.
Fucking remake this show today. She could just run up to the guy and give him a, what are those?
What are those? Those are my red Stakos, aren't it?
I love how all of our British accents have to be Cockney.
They just get worse over time, too.
They do. All of our Australian accents are also Cockney.
She's like, she tries to like calmly explain some shit to him about the
Yeah.
future and how things are fated to happen, how the timeline is set, all this stuff. And then the building behind them just fucking collapses,
Yeah.
killing that guy with the red
The-
shoes.
Like the scaffolding, right?
Yeah.
It was like the scaffolding.
Yeah,
was kind of
like they must have like a load
A
of
load
like,
of bricks.
pallet of bricks up on.
Yeah.
Where's OSHA when you need them?
That's right. Not safe
Yeah.
work area. There's a
Mhm.
hard hat area. The guy in the red shoe should have been wearing a hard hat and not that dorky trilby that he was wearing.
Yeah.
Steel toe boots. If he was wearing steel toe boots, he would have been fine.
probably would have
'Cause they wouldn't have been red, and he would have lived.
Well, yeah.
Wasn't the only part of his body not covered with bricks his feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So his feet are technically fine.
Well, then the ocean inspector will come over and be like, "Oh no, we're not gonna write you. We're not gonna write you guys up. He was wearing his PPE.
It's fine.
That little fedora thing, that was a hard hat.
That's fine." So she explains to him, "Okay, so yeah, I knew that guy was gonna get lit up, but there would be no point to me trying to save his life because if I warn him about the scaffold, he'll get hit by a taxi. If I warn him about the taxi, he's gonna slip and fall in the shower, break his neck. The universe will course correct. It has a way of course correcting.
Yeah.
So if these things are supposed to happen, regardless of our activity, they will."
Very interesting. We have set some major ground rules for how this universe works and how our time traveling works and sort of all of that. And it's specific yet vague, and I just like it. I don't know. It's good. It's good shit.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll start using the rules that have been established here sometime before season 5.
Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Just leave little breadcrumbs in the storyline. Maybe you come back to them. Maybe you don't.
Yeah.
Or maybe just suddenly wrap it up in like 3 seconds of like one person's throwaway dialogue and then never mentioned again.
Probably be fine.
I mean,
I'm sure it'll be fine.
we're kind of recording this podcast the way Desmond experiences the world. So, like,
Speaking of Desmond's experience, he's like, "I don't give a shit about any of that. I'm gonna ask Penny to marry me. Like, I don't believe you or whatever." So he keeps the ring and he leaves. He meets up with Penny off on the banks of the River Thames, overlooking Westminster Bridge.
well, he's walking in the rain for a minute, and he like sees a poster of like the Royal Marines or something like that.
Yeah, the Royal Scots. Yep.
Yeah, and there's like a really interesting music cue that happens over that little like sad walk in the rain, which I don't know if we've heard it before. I really liked it. It was kind of pretty, but yeah, he like looks really weird at this military poster, and then we don't acknowledge that ever again.
I wonder if any of these things will come back again.
Maybe. Oh, I'm fucking Haas and Busher. I've watched the show before.
The cue, I believe, is called "Distraught Desmond," and this is the first full statement of Desmond's theme. So yeah,
Because Desmond's a really fucking cool character. All right, he needs his own theme.
He is really fucking
It's
cool.
fucking great.
But yeah, so yeah, he meets up with Penny. She's like, "Am I late?" And it's like, "Oh no, let's go for a walk." And they're going for a cute little walk. There's a dude selling photographs on the side of the sidewalk there. And he's just like, "Hey, taking pictures up for the grandkids. Come on over." And they're like, "Yeah, all right, fuck it, fine, cool." They go over to this dude. And he's like, "Hey, what about you?" He's just got like backdrops and shit. So it's like, "Check out this, the Alps and the desert and whatever." And,
Yeah, even though they're right by the river,
right? Like, just take a picture of fucking.
turn around.
The river's not the marina.
But the big
And
band.
but then it's like a British river, so it's like,
I mean,
it's not that
maybe they're like, let's not do the touristy shit. Like, we live here. There's no, like, let's not take a picture in front of the Westminster Bridge and Big Ben.
Sure.
Let's make it really confusing for people who are going to see this picture later about where it was taken. And let's really throw them off.
Yeah.
So make people
Right.
wonder about this for episodes and episodes. Like, where did they take this? What island were they at?
Right.
I loved this little scene. It was great.
He pulls out,
quite good.
he's like, the marina photo, he pulls out the marina backdrop, takes a picture, $5 or £5, five fucking Monopoly dollars. They're not real.
Money's not real. Time's not real.
Thank you. So he's looking at the picture, and it's the picture. It's the picture that he's always been looking at of her and him together, and they look sweet. And he's like, we got to break up.
Yeah, he like really breaks down quickly.
Yeah, I'm not worthy. Like, I don't even have $5 for a photo. Like, I don't have any prospects. I got no job and all that shit. And she's like, you can just be my sugar baby. It's all good, bro. Like, I don't think you understand how hot you are. I don't care that you don't have a job.
I dig your long hair.
Yeah,
we can share shampoo.
Yeah.
But
she's like, don't pull this shit. If you're gonna bail, don't give me these idiotic excuses.
Right. Yeah. You don't get to rewrite history.
Yeah.
Don't make this about what I do or don't deserve.
Right.
Make it because you're a coward.
Yeah. Because that's what it is. You are afraid of.
Right.
She doesn't know what he's afraid of, but she can tell that that's really the only reason that he's afraid. He's not being honest with her. Not that he probably necessarily could, at least in his mind. But yeah. He's like, I'm sorry, but it's just not going to work. And she leaves in tears.
Yeah.
And then he wangs the ring out into the river. Another great.
He just eats the fucking thing into the.
just some more great physical acting from Henry Ian Cusick throwing things.
Throwing light things. There's also, oh man, I don't know. It sounded like a video game noise when it hit the water because the camera was like under the water and it sounded like a Mario coin sort of. At least to me it did.
Yeah. There's some CGI doing some heavy lifting here, not only with the green screen of them being across the river from Big Ben, but then the CGI ring floating through the water.
It's not great CGI, but considering when it was made, it wasn't that bad.
No, I mean, it wasn't like egregious, but it was like, okay, this is a VFX here.
Yeah, it's clearly VFX, but it's better than some shots. It's better than the fucking Saeed in Iraq stuff.
Yeah, it's miles better than that. Like this, them trying to be in London is no more egregious than every time they try to make them in Sydney. Like,
yeah, right. That would have been good if all the backgrounds, like one would have been the Lost Island, one would have been the Sydney fucking.
Like, oh, you want to be in front of the Opera House? Oh, you want to be on this tropical island with a plane crashing it?
Yeah.
You want to be in a Drive Shaft concert?
What's the Rose Bowl?
The Super Bowl? Desmond's like, well, fuck it. Let's go not be able to afford to get drunk. Let's go have a beer and then have to go home because I'm out of money. Goes to the bar. He has a little conversation with the bartender. He's like, I think I just made the biggest mistake of my life, and the worst part about it is I think this is the second time I've done it. Yeah. Which is pretty funny.
I'm not any better at it.
But then the song comes on. And so then it's like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I just had the night wrong. Because then he turns to the football match on the TV and they score the goal. And he's like, hell yeah, everything's all right. And then Jimmy Lennon comes barging through the door with the cricket bat. Hey, where's my money? Where's my money? You got my money? Huh? Give me my money.
Desmond does the nice thing, try to warn the bartender, and he pays for it. Fate catches up to him.
The universe has a way of course correcting. So if the bartender doesn't get clipped.
Which is probably good for Desmond, because as we established in the previous scene, he didn't have enough money for a photograph. How's he going to pay his bar tab? He's going here to get the cheapest whiskeys.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to pay for that anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I good thing he ended up in hospital or whatever.
I want there to be an alternate universe, though, where Desmond's just like so happy that he realizes he's not going insane. He just lets the bartender get hammered in the head with a cricket bat, just like, I'm not insane. Yay.
Yeah. And he's like on like the local news later that night. Oh man, he's like, why are you so happy? Oh, I'm having a good night, honestly. Other than the bartender being pounded, like things are looking out for old Desmond.
Yeah, best part of my night.
But yeah, taking the cricket back to the face sends him forward in time back to 2004 on the island. He wakes up in the jungle after he had turned the key.
Yeah, implosion.
And yeah, he makes his way over to the hatch crater. Shit's fucked.
This when he finds the picture of Penny and he says, let me go back just one more time. I'll do it right this time. I'm sorry. I'll change it. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I was getting a little teared up. Like his performance is so fucking rock solid. You believe he is hurting.
Yeah.
Capital H,
Yeah.
hurting.
Yeah.
Desmond, man, he's the man.
He's so good.
Yeah. And then from there, we cut back to the present. Desmond continues to strangle Charlie.
Love it. Love to see it again.
Love that for Charlie. Just getting a little strangle in. And then Hurley finally like comes over and breaks up the fight. Cut the shit. Knock it off. I'm hammered. You guys are ruining the vibe. And Charlie's like, let's get him back. Let's get him home. He's drunk. Like, we're all speaking and walking incredibly clearly for people who are drunk. It's fine. It's TV.
Yeah.
He helps him back to his tent, and
They apologize.
yeah, he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry I strangled you. It's all good. I'm sorry I was being a dick. You were a dick. I was kind of a dick. Like a lot of people were being dicks. Like,
Yeah, a lot of things happened. A lot of things got said.
so it's fine. It's fine." And then Charlie's like, "You gotta tell me. You gotta tell
Yeah.
me." And it to me, it sounded like he's like at some point, like not like right this second. It's like you're gonna tell me what's going on here. Okay, my plan didn't work, but
Yeah.
sometime you gotta tell me why this is happening. And now, so Charlie's plan technically did work because Desmond is still drunk, and so he's like, "I'll tell you.
Sure,
I'm not trying
yeah.
to save Claire. The flash I saw was you drowning trying to save
Yeah.
Claire. The flash I saw was you getting struck by lightning when the lightning struck Claire's tent. The reason I'm always trying to save Claire is because you're always fucking by her, bro. Like, find your own hobbies. Like, have your own life. Create your own personality."
Even Sun and Jin do separate shit throughout
Yeah,
the day, my
fishing,
guy.
gardening, they have their own hobbies.
You're just her fucking shadow.
Yeah, you and Claire have one hobby, and it's the baby. You both need to get out of the house a little more.
But yeah, he says, "I'm trying to save you, but the universe course corrects.
Yeah.
I can't stop it forever. No matter what I try to do, you're going to die, Charlie." Dude,
Yeah.
what a good fucking episode of TV.
Did we like it? Was it good? Here at the end of Flash Before Your Eyes, Haas.
I vote yes.
Yeah.
It establishes sort of like ground rules for later on, I think,
Yep.
for the series, or sort of establishes what's going on and why Desmond is who he is, because he's pretty central to the middle part of Lost and factors in quite a bit.
Yep.
So yes, I think it's very good. I enjoyed it.
Cool. JP.
Yeah, I loved it. It builds on the lore. It answers some questions. It asks a few more questions. Desmond's performance is good. The story, like every scene, sans him looking at the Marine poster, like everything is paid off in this episode. It does the time traveling stuff well. I loved it. It was great. Loved it.
Yeah.
Adam?
Yeah, for kind of the same reasons, establishing the rules that we're going to need a little bit later on, maybe another season or two down the road. But yes, they didn't just pull that shit out of nowhere once we get to it, contrary to what people might want to argue about seasons 4, 5, 6. We did talk about how shit was going to work, and it was here in kind of the doldrums of season 3, yes, but we did establish some rules, and yeah, good character stuff. Just like seeing the relationship of Penny and Desmond, how much they care for each other. We didn't see the foundation or the nascent stages of it, but here on Lost, we did see the meet cute, so we know they have chemistry, and then I
believe it.
Yeah.
I totally believe it.
You see the care for both of them in the way they talk to each other, and the way they look at each other, and in their breaking up. You can see that Desmond didn't want to break up with her. He just believed Eloise more than he believed his own desire to stay in the moment or whatever.
Yeah,
Fell victim to the fate.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I dug it too. I like it a lot. Yeah, Henry and Cusick, Sony Walger, Fianola, Flanagan, all of them killing it.
Yep,
good stuff.
One tiny piece that we didn't cover.
What's that?
But now that we've said who is going to die in that flashback, when Charlie was singing Wonderwall, the line he was singing, "'Cause maybe you're going to be the one who saves me." Nice. I caught that on the second viewing. I was like,
there you go. Like that a lot.
So good. Love it.
Speaking of so good, somebody here in these 45 minutes was really ruling the roost. Somebody is top guy. Top person.
Yeah.
Main survivor. Main flashback character. The Lost MVP. Flash before your eyes. Who is your Lost MVP? Haas, kick it off.
God, I don't know. I've been thinking about this for the last 2 or 3 minutes because I knew it was coming. And I want to say Desmond.
Okay.
It's probably Desmond for me.
Sure.
I like choosing a weird character. For me, the MVP was the guy in the red shoes. Because without him, Desmond would have made his choices.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think it's got to be Desmond.
Sure.
Because without him, this, like I said before, and why it's good, it establishes everything, sets up him and Penny and their motivations and desire to be together, regardless of what her father says or what fate says and the universe course correcting and ending up on this island. I think it's Desmond.
Yeah, I think that's a perfectly legit pick. There's no reason to not go for him, honestly. JP?
I was also going to unironically say Desmond, but then Haas said Desmond and Penny. And man, I fucking love Penny. I'm gonna give it to her. Like,
There you go. I like that.
she knows what she wants. She's very good at communicating that in their relationship. When Desmond does fucking turn into a crazy person, she's like, hey, it's not my responsibility to fix you. It's my responsibility to fucking walk away because I'm the most important person to me. She's aware of her own needs, and I buy their chemistry big time, and I really like it. So I'm going to say Penny, just so we're not all just saying Desmond right now, but I adore Desmond. But yeah, let's give it to Penny.
All right. Yeah, I dig it. I like it a lot.
Adam.
I mean, yeah, Desmond, Penny are both very, very good picks, but I got to give it to the third banana in the episode, Eloise.
Oh, nice.
Her being there and then her being the person with the knowledge, the behind the curtain, whatever, like you don't buy the ring. This isn't how it goes, and you can't change it. So don't. Like, I see you trying to. And so, like, I got to break character here and give you the sauce. I got to tell you, this isn't how it goes. And so now she slipped the knowledge to him. She's like, you're no longer going to be just a passenger on the trip through time. You're going to be a participant in the way things are.
That's a really good
now.
way of saying that. Yeah.
So
I like that.
She hands him, he may not be necessarily aware of it yet, but she hands him a certain level of responsibility for the fate of the timeline of Lost.
Yeah.
And she's awesome. Like, I love that actress.
And
she's just, it's awesome to see her in the show. I was really glad when they added her. And yeah, she does in the second half of Lost on Lost. She will be a bigger, a continued bigger part.
Oh,
of the
really?
show. Yeah, we will see Eloise Hawking a little bit more as time goes by.
That's why they couldn't afford Angela Lansbury. She's not a one-off, huh?
Yeah.
Well, there's a flip side to this.
Yeah.
We have so much love for this episode, but there's gotta be a Lost Forever. There has to be. Somebody sucked. Somebody wasn't pulling their weight. A Haas.
Who didn't pull their weight? I almost want to say the same person, but I don't know. I can't stretch that.
The same person from last time you were on here?
No, I don't even remember who that was.
Locke and Roger Linus.
For me, the person who didn't pull their weight was Jack, Kate, and Sawyer.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is great because we need a Jack, Sawyer, and Kate-less episode.
Yep.
There's so much. I mean, they have their time, and I've loved their characters at times. Jack annoys the shit out of me sometimes.
Sure.
But Kate and Sawyer, lovely. But it's amazing to have a Jack, Sawyer, and Kate-less episode.
Yeah.
And because then it opens up more time for great character like Desmond. Yeah. And a little bit of Charlie we got. And as you said, Eloise and all of that stuff.
Yep. JP, who's your Lost Forever?
Jimmy Lennon, man. You're going to shake down a place in the middle of the game with patrons? You're going to get your ass kicked, dude. Like, I don't know. You're bad at this extortion thing.
There's no way he's going to get away with this by getting... Like, there's no way you're going to walk in, hit the guy with the bat, and get your money. Like, it's not going to work out the way you hope or expect it to.
Right. Especially because, like, Desmond knows this guy by name. Like, if the bartender gets his ass kicked, we'll be like, who did it? It was fucking Jimmy. Like
Jimmy
we all
Lennon.
Here's his address. I'm going to his house for dinner tomorrow.
He lives up the road.
He lives upstairs from the bar. Adam, Lost Forever.
Juan Charles Widmore. I hate that dude so much.
What a piece of shit.
It just, like I said, he gives me a little bit of the vibes of Mr. Pake, but Widmore is not even like a gangster or anything. He's just like a dick for like dick's sake. And I hate that guy. And I never want to see him again.
He's a big money grubbing capitalist.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and it's like Mr. Pake at least respected the fact that, like, yeah, Jin's a dirt farmer, but like I can see that he loves my daughter. and he's trying, so I'll at least give him a chance. And Desmond's doing the same thing. He's like, listen, I'm I'm trying here, and he's just a complete asshole.
Yeah, exactly, for no good reason.
Yeah.
Unless he has a good reason, we find out about it later. But I don't think he has a good. I think he's just a dickhead.
Yeah.
So fuck
Yeah.
him.
Fuck him.
Allendale rules though, because Allendale does a really good job of playing shit-heeled Charles Widmore.
He, yes,
Sure.
is great at it. Love when I see Charles Widmore.
Yeah.
Because it usually means more answers to what the fuck is going on.
Right. Exactly. So that's it.
That's
Flashing
it.
before your eyes.
Boss. McClutchin Scott.
Pour me one. It's 1 o'clock here. Let's go.
Yep. It's good.
We're
Yeah,
late.
let's go.
We're
baby.
late.
Good a time as any.
Perfect.
Haas, thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for stopping by, chatting about Lost with us.
Is there anything you want to plug?
Yeah, working on anything, a show
No.
people should check out. Juice the ratings.
You
a little
guys
bit?
should watch this or listen to this podcast I've recently was on called Lost on Lost. Recommend it. The two gentlemen host were very accommodating for me, and I think all the listeners should tune in and listen to that.
Sure. When's the last time you listened to Lost on Lost?
The last time I was on.
Perfect.
25 months ago.
Excellent.
Oh shit, this thing's doing numbers over here.
Officer, we found him.
God. Adam, what are we watching next time?
Excellent question. If you out there are trying to be lost with us next time, we will be watching season 2, episodes 23 and 24. It's another doubleheader, Live Together, Die Alone. And it's a doubleheader in more than one way because our centric character will again be Desmond Hume.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Yes.
season 2 finale,
Yes.
Desmond Hume, centric character.
Yes.
2 guests, 2 hours, 2 fast, 2 furious,
I'm excited for you for that one.
2...
2 guests enter, 1 guest leave.
And then the other guest leaves after the other one leaves first.
Enters.
They just can't leave at the same
They just
time.
can't leave at the same time because they have to exit out of my front door, which is only wide enough for one person.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in to yet again another episode of Lost on Lost.
Yeah, I'm Adam.
I'm JP.
Have an idea what's going on this show?
Nope.
Me neither. Lost on Lost is produced and edited by me and JP.
We wish to acknowledge that we live, work, and produce our show on occupied land.
Burbank, California is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Tongva, Chumash, Kizh, and Fernandino Tataviam peoples.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Peoria, Potawatomi, Miama, and Ho-Chunk peoples.
And Lost was produced in Hawaii on the lands of the Kanaka Maoli.
Visit native-land.ca to learn more about the land you live and work on.
You can engage with us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at Lost on Lost 1.
You can also email us at wearelostonlost@gmail.com or support us with dollar monies at coffee.com/wearelostonlost.
Thanks to Lostpedia and its community of contributors, Danny Schmitz, random.org, and as always, you the listeners for tuning in.
We're hosted at Podbean. You can hear us there or wherever you get your podcasts, except MySpace. We're not on MySpace.
Yet.